Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to maintain a simplified financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. With that being said, let's get into today's video. Alrighty, well, hello everyone, and happy, I don't even know what day of the week this is going up. Happy whatever day this is. Happy week to you. Happy budget with me for August, which is crazy. I know I say this every month. I know I should not be shocked whenever we get to the budget with me. I know that I should not be shocked when a month goes by, but it still hits me every single month how quickly time flies. When I was a kid, time dragged on for an eternity. As an adult, I'm like, how in the world are we already in August? We just started 2024. Like, I'm still getting used to saying 2024 sometimes. Like, 2023 feels more natural to me than 2024. So it's just insane. It's crazy that we're already here, but here we are. We are doing the budget with me for the month of August. This is a fun one for us because August is a magic month for my husband, which means that we get an extra pay this month than usual. So my husband is paid on a biweekly schedule, and so he is going to be collecting 3 paychecks this month instead of 2. I also will be starting my new job this month, which means that we'll have a little bit of extra income coming into our home for that as well. But as per usual, I will not be budgeting for that until we have a little bit of a better idea of what that's going to look like from a scheduling standpoint and hours and pay and all that kind of stuff. So we are just going to be budgeting my husband's paycheck for the month of August until we figure out kind of what it's going to look like for us from a budget standpoint. But yeah, so let's just jump right into it here, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and grab my budget binder. Let me open up to the month of August. This, by the way, so I sell these dashboards in my Etsy shop. I have these available as a variety of different things. I have them A5 and A6 sizes. I have them in a digital download so you can print them out yourself, or I can print and ship them for you. They come in a bundle of 3 different flowers, or you can choose an individual flower as well, I think. But the budget planner is also something that you can get in my Etsy shop. Again, it is available in, you can have it as a digital download. You'll be able to have the entire year and print it off yourself, or I can print it for you. I have it available in quarters in my Etsy shop for me to print and ship to you. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, my Etsy shop is always linked below if you are interested. And I'm going to go ahead and go into this really quickly. So basically, this is where my husband's getting paid. He's getting paid the 2nd, 16th, and the 30th. We will be pulling some of this money from this paycheck to fund our groceries for the next 2 weeks, but otherwise the entirety of this paycheck will just benefit the month of August. And so that's why it's considered a magic month, because it's sort of like extra money for that month that you're able to play with a little extra, and I will go over with you guys what we plan to do with that. And then of course I just always notate here when I get my Etsy pay, because it's helpful to know those things. So anyways, let me grab my monthly budget overview, and then we will go ahead and get into actually, I'm gonna need some sheets here. I like a smooth writing surface. All right, I'm gonna zoom you guys in, and then we will get to the actual budget. So here we go. So we are in the month of August, which is crazy. Okay, so this is how we're handling it. So like I've mentioned, I know that, I'm starting my job in the month of August, but I don't know what my income is going to look like, so I'm not even creating a plan for it yet. But so then my husband's income will be the only income that we are budgeting for. So he is due to bring in, I'm not even going to do anything up here. He's due to bring in $12,940.77 this month. Now this obviously is not what we usually bring in. This is his pay whatever this divided by 3 is what his pay is on a bi-weekly standpoint. So we do the zero-based budgeting method. And so that means that we come up with a plan for every cent of this paycheck, even the change. The change usually goes toward the emergency fund, but we'll map it out. So first up, we always tap into our bills and expenses, the high priority items in your life, the 4 walls that you live in, the food that you eat, and everything that supports those things are the things that you have to make sure that you're funding first. Coming up with a plan for it can be a little bit challenging if you're kind of new to the world of budgeting. I always say, if you have fluctuating bills like an electric bill or water bill or whatever, kind of look at your last 6 months for those things and then kind of average out what it's going to cost for you from month to month in order to hit the most expensive month that you'll have to make sure that you have enough money for things like that. So we'll get into it. I'll show you how we do it. So first up is our mortgage, and that is going to be $2,345.87. Next up is our water bill. This is one that fluctuates, which is so annoying, but we put $115 a month at it just to make sure that we are hitting the high points and maybe even rolling money over from month to month when we're not using as much water. That way it helps to cover for those expensive months. Next up is life insurance. Blessings to this one. It never ever changes, and it is $42.06. Next up, car insurance. This one fluctuates from time to time, which is super duper annoying, but we're putting $120 at it this month. Jiu-jitsu. My husband and son both train jiu-jitsu, and it never changes. It's $187.38. Next up, our internet also never changes. Bless its little heart. It is $55.58. And then our phone bill, which does fluctuate annoyingly sometimes, we are going to be giving $115 this month. And our electric also fluctuates, but this one, we know that it's going to fluctuate depending on air conditioning or heating usage. So we put $200 a month toward this one to make sure that we're covered in the expensive months and we're rolling over money for during the cheap months. Groceries is where a good chunk of our money is going to be going to this month because, like I mentioned before, oh, cool. Love that my pen decides to conk out. So groceries, again, we are funding the month of August and the first 2 grocery trips in the month of September. This is just how we work out our magic month money. So incorporating all of that, it is $2,850 for the month of August and part of September. And this is how we handle magic months, by the way. We are always making sure that we have enough money for important expenses into the next month that won't be covered, or that's in that gap period between your last pay of your magic month and your first pay of the next month, because there is a little bit of a gap. Our first pay of September won't be until a little bit deeper in September. So that's why we have to make sure that our groceries are covered until we get into our first pay of September. Next up is our gas. This is gas for our car. We don't cash stuff for this one because I actually use a cashback app that just makes it easier. We're just always paying with our debit card because of that. And if you're interested, any of the rewards programs that I use are listed down below. If you use my referral link, I will get like bonus points or bonus cash or bonus whatever it is, but you will too. And this is a good one. We have used this one to get cash back on gas purchases for about 1.5 years now, and I absolutely love it. I love when you can actually get cash back instead of like a gift card somewhere, because cash is so versatile. You can use it for anything. And I don't think we've ever put it in our gas fund. Whenever we get cash back, we usually apply it to a part of our budget that we feel like is a little low whenever I do get some cash back. And so that's why we love this one in particular. It's called Upside. Like I mentioned, it's linked below if you're interested in joining, but I highly recommend this one. It's one of my favorite cashback apps or rewards apps for purchases. But gasoline is getting budgeted $150. Next up, I mentioned to you guys actually in my last cash stuffing that I was flipping the script on household and toiletries this month. Usually I put a little bit more money toward toiletries just because we use a little bit more in the way of toiletry products than household products from month to month. But toiletries is doing okay right now, so I'm giving household $80 this month and toiletries $70 this month. Might not sound like that much of a difference, but every little bit helps as far as I'm concerned. And I swear household and toiletries are always the two expenses that I can never ever nail down perfectly. So any opportunity to buffer them with a little bit of extra cash, I will take. Subscriptions is up next. This just covers all of our different subscription. Oh my gosh, this pen's driving me nuts. Different subscription services that we utilize like Netflix, Apple Music, and I think we're going to be switching soon to AMC's streaming service because there are some shows on there that my hubby and I want to watch. So I think we're going to be doing that soon. Right now we have Hulu and Netflix, but I think we'll be switching to AMC and I guess maybe Netflix. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, subscriptions are $64.75 every month. Let me see. Next up is taxes. We canceled our pest control, if you're wondering about why that's not in our budget this month. We decided to cancel it. I didn't like the idea of spraying anything around our house. I'm going to be trying a couple of natural remedies and seeing if that helps, but I'll keep you guys posted. But yeah, I didn't want any of the like toxic chemicals that were being sprayed around our house to keep bugs away. Frankly, I'd rather have the bugs than whatever side effects come with those icky pesticides. So anyways, taxes gets $30 a month, and this is just enough money to pay the person who prepares our taxes for us. Next up is our HOA. We actually have a pretty low annual HOA fee, even though I don't like it still. It's still not terrible. It's $17 a month to get us to about $200 a year. Next up is Finance Coach. This is one that I am always asked about in my Budget with Me's. This is more like a subscription service than a person. I mean, the money goes to a person. It is one person who has a subscription service annually that is specific to my husband's job and his retirement account, or his retirement funds and where they are. And this person watches the market and makes recommendations for where to move your retirement funds from month to month to make sure that you're maximizing the money that's coming into them. But like I mentioned, it's more like a subscription service. This isn't like an individual that we spend time on the phone with every month or anything like that. But it costs us $60 a year, so we put $5 a month toward it. Union dues is up next. This is also specific to my husband's job, and we put $15 a month at it. Next up, these are not high priority items, but I put them over here just because we have a fair amount of sinking funds that take up a lot of space over here. So one is our pool membership. And that is $32 a month. Oh my gosh, this pen skipping is driving me nuts. And then vacation, which is just going to be getting $50 this month. Oh my goodness. It's driving me crazy. And that's going to do it for this side for all of our bills and expenses. I'm going to go ahead and add this up really quickly just so that I have a total down here. So it makes adding everything else up much more easily, or much easier at the end of everything. I always zoom you guys through this because nobody wants to watch me use a calculator. So when I'm done, we'll move over to our sinking funds. All right, so the total for our bills and expenses is $6,544.64. And I'm just realizing Okay, good. You guys are in frame. I just wanted to make sure because sometimes like I'll move the papers around and not even realize what I'm doing. So glad to see that we're still in frame. Next up, we don't have any debt, so I'm just going to cross this out. And then we move over to our sinking funds. These are non-essential, well, some of them are non-essential expenses in our budget, but things that we want to make sure that we have money set aside for every single month. It's kind of like building up their own little mini savings accounts, whether you cash stuff or you do everything electronically. This just makes sure that you have money sitting in these different categories of your budget whenever you do need to use it. And I will go ahead and go into all of these things. Some of these things are actually high priority, like car expenses, home maintenance, and medical, clothes, stuff like that. But they're still like, they're a sinking fund because we're not necessarily spending money on these things from month to month. So we're sinking the money essentially in the envelope to sit there for when we do need to use it. So that's kind of why we decide to put things in certain places. But first up, we've got car expenses. Car expenses gets $57 a month from us. $7 is for our car registration. So $7 a month will cover the annual cost of our car registration. And then $50 a month is what we're putting into car expenses for things like oil changes, if we like bust a tire or something and we need to, take care of certain car expenses in an emergency situation, our car expenses fund helps us supplement our emergency fund with, whatever we have saved in here in the event that we do have some sort of like mini car emergency. So it all helps, it helps to put money aside for these things every single month, just general car maintenance and stuff like that. It helps to have that money sitting there. Same with home maintenance, although this one has been taking a hit from us lately. I'm going to go ahead and put $75 at it this month. Typically I do 50 and then I supplement with 50 with my Etsy and YouTube pay. So I am still going to go ahead and put plus 50 over here because I want to supplement home maintenance with my Etsy and YouTube income this month. But I'm budgeting 75 instead of the 50 that I usually would. I know that's not a significant bump, but every little bit helps when you're trying to build up a category of your budget that you feel like is taking a hit. Just go ahead and budget a little bit extra that month and try to move some money around. For us, it's helpful that we are not budgeting for pest control anymore. So we have like a free $40 or so available to do something like that with. But I'll take any wiggle room in my budget that I can get. So that's what we're doing. These next couple are also going to be supplemented with Etsy and YouTube as well. So medical is getting $75 this month, and I'm going to supplement it $25 with my Etsy and YouTube pay. Same with clothes. I'm going to go ahead and typically this would get $50, but I'm going to go ahead and do 75 and then supplement 25. I'm just doing this because clothes also took a hit last month. So I want to make sure that we're getting enough money toward this one. Haircuts is getting $70 this month. And then we move into our spending money. So this is my husband's spending money. He is getting $50 this month. And hers, that's my spending money, I get $175. I've addressed the discrepancy before, but basically my husband trains jujitsu, which is it's definitely a workout, which is good for us. We should all be working out, moving our bodies. But it's also a hobby for him. And so, his jujitsu membership comes out of our budget. And so that's partly why I get more spending money, but, I also budget for my own haircut in here as well. And so that's why there's a significant difference between his spending money and my spending money. Plus I'm a girl. I spend more money. It's just the way it is. Well, and actually, I don't want to say I'm a girl because I have one of my neighbor friends. She's the saver. Her husband is the spender. So it's definitely it doesn't boil down so easily to girls spend and boys save. It's just not like that. But in our house, it is. Next up is dine out. also has been taking a hit lately. I'm budgeting $30 toward it, but I'm going to go ahead and supplement it $20 with my Etsy and YouTube income. And then dates is getting $30 this month. This is pretty typical for us, and I usually only supplement it with YouTube pay, but I just wait and see what I'm going to make in YouTube. It's never consistent. And so then I'll just come up with a plan for what I'm going to put at dates with my YouTube income when that check comes in. Family fun is the same. It's going to get $30, and it is also treated just like dates is. I just kind of see what my YouTube pay looks like, and then I throw something extra at it, but I don't have like a set amount that I want to put toward it. Next up is gifts. This covers any birthday gifts that we buy for our kids, their friends, any other events that may come up throughout the year, like maybe like a hostess gift or something like that. And so this one is getting $40 this month. And then Partay, if you watched my cash stuffing this week, you will know that we carried over a deficit from birthday parties from the month of July into August, which is something that we don't usually do. We do not overspend from month to month. It is a pretty hard and fast rule in our household. We've always done it this way, and we've found it to be a great way of just maintaining discipline in our budget. However, life happens, things happen, and although birthday parties is not like, this is not an emergency situation. What we're going to do basically is take the deficit that we carried over from the month of July and incorporate it in our budget this month. So it's just going to mean less money is going toward our emergency fund, which again is not something that we usually do from month to month. But my son's desire for having his birthday party at a water park this year was pretty significant. We underestimated how much it was going to cost. And so, that just impacted our birthday party budget. Now we know it's not that big of a deal. We're fixing it. So what we did was we carried over a $120 deficit from the month of July, but we were also budgeting $45 for it as like the regular, like saving up for birthday parties for the month of August. So we are budgeting $165. This will take care of the $120 deficit. So the $120 of this will not actually be cash stuffed. Only the $45 from that we're actually budgeting for the month of August is going to be cash stuffed. The $120 will take care of the deficit that we brought over from the month of July. I hope that's not too confusing. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to ask me in the comments, and I will go ahead and clarify if that didn't make sense, but otherwise that's our plan. Back to school is another one that has been really, really like super duper been hit hard. Poor back to school. It's being budgeted for $30 this month. And I'm going to go ahead and supplement it another $30 with my Etsy and YouTube pay for the month of for the month of August. And hopefully this will start a good pattern of being able to build this envelope back up. Bless it. Valentine's Day is up next. These are just our little holidays that are only stuffed once a month because the amount that we're saving for it is so small. But we do make sure that we hit all of those. And so Valentine's Day gets $5. Easter gets $7. Halloween. Sorry about that. We were interrupted. So I think it was on Halloween. And Halloween is getting $12 this month. Thanksgiving. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. These pens. Thanksgiving is getting $25 this month. And you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and supplement it another $25 with Etsy and YouTube, just because I want to make sure that we have enough money in Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and supplement it $25. And then Christmas gets $275 for the month of September or August. Goodness gracious, why am I trying to jump us a month ahead? Now, Typically, as I've mentioned to you guys, if you've been around here for any amount of time, we have a house project category of our budget. Our house project covers things like, well, so far in the year and a half that we've been budgeting and just kind of throwing money toward house project whenever we can, we have been able to put in ceiling fans in 3 rooms of our house. We've put gutters on our house. I kind of like side funded a little backyard garden project. And I'm trying to think. Oh, we also redid our office to make it functional for my husband and myself, all with our house project budget. After originally, and I've mentioned this before, but if you're new, I'm going to go ahead and fill you in. So our plan after saving for our screen doors, which we are getting and installing here very, very soon because we have the money for it. Our plan was to move over to saving for a reverse osmosis system for our house. If you are unfamiliar with what that is, it's basically a very, very, I can't even think of the word I'm looking for, but a very good water filtration system that cleans up the water that comes into your home from whatever city you live in. They put a ton of absolute garbage in our water that is doing all kinds of seen and unseen damage to our bodies. And so my husband and I had it, this was the next priority for us to install a reverse osmosis system. We have thwarted that plan. I know it's going to sound crazy because I just spoke about the ills of the water that's coming into your home. But there's a reason for it. There's a method to our madness. It's all going to kind of play out well. But basically, we are bumping reverse osmosis for just a little bit. And we're actually going to be buying a new TV for our upstairs. We have like a upstairs TV room. I know that's going to sound crazy. Like a TV is obviously not a higher priority than the water that you're drinking and, showering in and all those sorts of things. This is just what we've decided to do in our home. We've decided to bump the TV up. And so we want to make sure that we have the money in there so that we can take advantage of Black Friday sales. And a Magic Month is a really good way of, buffering up certain sinking funds that you have plans for and things like that. So the TV is coming first. I will let you guys know what our plan is and how we plan on saving for our reverse osmosis system. Obviously, it's going to come after the TV. But I just, I'll let you guys know in like future videos and stuff, kind of what our plans are for other house projects that we have down the line that are high enough priority to us that we are budgeting for them sort of in conjunction with saving up for our emergency, our 3 to 6 months of emergency fund. So anyways, with that being said, house project is going to be getting $2,000 this month. And this is basically coming from my husband's extra pay for the month of August. And so we're pretty excited about it because we're getting a jump start on saving for this for Black Friday. And then, after that, we will start saving for our reverse osmosis system. But like I said, there's like a little bit more to it, and I'll go ahead and fill you guys in at a later time, with what our plans are with that. So anyways, that's going to do it for our sinking funds section. So I'm going to go ahead and just zoom you guys through adding this up, and then we will move down into our savings section. All right, so for this section, it is $3,226. And I'm just going to really quickly do this math over here. So 50 plus 25 plus 25 plus 20 plus 30 plus 25. So I need to supplement our sinking fund section with an additional $175 that I get paid from Etsy and YouTube in the month of August. And now I will go ahead and move down into the savings section. So first up, we have little investment accounts that we have for our son and our daughter. So I'll just put boy and girl here. And it's not much, but we put $25 a month toward it. And then I have to figure out what's actually remaining from all of this, so that I can figure out what we're going to actually put in our emergency fund this month. So we started off with $12,940.77. The top section was $6,544.64. And then over here, $3,226. And then subtracting another 50 for the, come on, what is this? Their investment accounts. That leaves us with 3,000. So this is for our emergency fund. $3,120.13 to go toward our emergency fund for the month of August. And likely what's going to happen is whatever income I bring in the month of August, we will kind of maybe shuffle a little bit more toward house project, but most of it's going to go to our emergency fund. Because I'm not even sure, how much I'll be bringing in, because I'm not starting until nearly halfway in the month of August. So we'll see how it all works out. Oh, I forgot to add this up. So this is actually going to be, the total down here is going to be 3,100, what is this, 50, so, and $70.13. And that takes up the entirety of the $12,940.77 that we started with. This is what a zero-based budget looks like. You are giving every single dollar that comes into your home a plan, whether you're actually using that money that month or you're saving it for an expense down the line. You're still setting up your finances in such a way that you're always prepared for hopefully a mini emergency. Big emergencies cost a lot of money, and there are a variety of different opinions on how you handle those sorts of things. Obviously, if you have a robust emergency fund, like 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up, you pull from those things in the event of a big emergency. But if you're still like us and you're, saving for it, you just kind of hope that things don't go wrong, and you can kind of keep saving up for an emergency if one happens. But disciplining yourself this way with a zero-based budget really does the work of setting you up so that you can have a plan in place for when an emergency comes around. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys back out and we will finish up this video. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for me for today. I cannot make any promises on what video you're going to see from me next. Ideally, it would be my weekly check-in, but given that we are leaving for vacation very soon, you know how it goes. Getting prepped and ready for that takes all of the effort in the world. So I may be too preoccupied to do my weekly check-in, but even though we'll be away on vacation, I do still have a cash stuffing, my first cash stuffing for the month of August coming for you guys, my budget with me for Etsy and YouTube for the month of July, and then my actual Etsy and YouTube cash stuffing for the month of July. So those videos are going to be coming while I'm away on vacation, but they are actually going to be uploaded to my channel. Whether or not I get to my weekly check-in this week is going to be something else entirely. I hope I can get it up for you guys, but if not, I hope you understand as well. And like I've mentioned, once we come back from our vacation and my kids are back in school, my schedule is going to reorient itself, God bless it, because I am so ready to be back on a normal schedule. I do not like when things are like all wonky. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it so much if you would give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. And I will see you in the next video, depending on what that is. Who even knows? It's like a fun mystery adventure for all of us. But until then, you guys have a good one. Bye, everyone.